Yo, Saga Manga, we're back. Today is the video of me taking volume 1 and 2 of Dimension W and rebinding it into a hardcover. So I took these 2 volumes and we turned it into this, which is honestly just so cool. You can just take 2 paperbacks and make them into an omni. You can kind of tell. You can make them into a 2-in-1. Really awesome project. Took a long time, first time ever, and I think it came out really good for my first time. Some mistakes, obviously. You can't really tell probably on video, but I kind of almost melted the silver. But it came out real good, in my opinion. And I'll kind of just run through my process of why I chose this design. So in Dimension W, there's unlimited energy, and there's a company called New Tesla Energy, and they create coils. Think of coils as batteries. They power everything, light bulbs, stove, whatever, all your appliances. And when New Tesla Energy first made coils, they gave numbered coils to big companies. So let's say like Amazon would run all their cars on these, their whole company on this numbered coil. And numbered coils have unlimited energy, and they are numbered with 3 numbers. So I chose that as my design in a clever way to number each book, as you have 001 here. And then this is the power logo that our main character Kyoma Mabuchi wears on his back. And Kyoma also has skewers in his coat. That's his weapon. He throws the skewers, so he put the skewer on the back just for something. And I think honestly turned out really good. Obviously some mistakes, first time ever binding something like this. The biggest mistake would be this end cover. I glued it too far over and it kind of separated from here. So I'm just gonna have to crease it again and glue it down and press it. It should come out fine. The back I glued properly. It's much farther away. Opens fine. You can actually read this, so it's readable. And very cool project. Some shit went wrong, but for first one ever, I think it turned out really cool. And now we will show you my process. I kind of time-lapsed most things. Some things I didn't record, but I'm going to voice over all these time-lapse, put into the video, and enjoy. Alright, so here we just pulling off the covers. You do not need to cut it. You can just pull the cover off carefully. So you pull off both covers, then you take the 2 books and glue them together, but you want to sand down the spine as much as you can and then reinforce them. And there's a lot of measuring and cutting that I didn't show here, where you cut out the boards. So right here we are making sure everything's lined up. I got the piece on the bottom so it's straight. I'm marking off the spot, and then we glue down the front cover. We definitely should have put more glue on the front cover. It wasn't enough. And then here's the spine, and I have this 5mm strip that I cut. That is my spacer between the cover and the spine, just so everything is spaced properly. And I shouldn't have tried to crease it right there because I don't think I had enough glue overall. So I kind of fix it up a little bit, make sure everything has glue on the edges, and then we press it overnight or a couple hours, I can't really remember. And this part is just cutting out this craft paper and then gluing it to the spine just to give it a bit more reinforcement as you're going to read the book. So you don't want the spine coming apart. And then I'll tell you price wise how much it costs to start into this. After right here I'm just cutting 2.1 centimeters around all the edges because you're going to fold the edges over it. So price wise, I got like glue, 2 jugs of glue for like $30. The board was about $30. The faux leather was around $30, more than enough to do the whole project. And I think the knife, like the bone knife, whatever you call it, was like under $10. And the big price was the Silhouette Portrait 3, which is a cutting machine. It cut out the heat transfer vinyl, which were around $20 for each roll of like 16 feet. So enough for like future projects as well. But the portrait was $150. So we're at around like what, like $250, like close to $300, but that's the machine. Like the machine's going to be used for other things too. You can cut out like stickers and stuff on that. So right here, the edge wasn't like laying down properly, so I had to like press each edge after I glued it. And here we're doing, this is the heat transfer vinyl. It's cut out on my machine. I designed the designs on my iPad on Procreate, and I designed them all to be the same height, but right here shit isn't lining up. So I assumed it was the silver was wrong. So I went and cut it out, and I cut on the wrong side of the heat transfer vinyl. So I had to cut it out again, and it still didn't line up. So I started measuring everything. Turns out that the black one that I cut was taller than my measurements, because I think what I did on my iPad was make the canvas was 7x5, which is a regular sized volume, and I guess I might have made it a little bit bigger or cut it out before. I don't really know, but I went back into the program, tweaked it all, so it's all 7x5 exactly, and I made the rectangle around it just for like a guideline. So here I weeded it out. We lined up the silver one. I have 1 centimeter exactly on each from the bottom and the top. So just take a little bit of time to line it up. And here I'm ironing it on. I did go ahead and purchase a heat press. It's a small handheld, like basically an iron, but it's going to distribute the heat way better because I had a very hard time here. As you can see, I'm like going back and forth. I forgot to record the black on top of the silver, but I think my iron was too hot or something. I basically almost melted all of the black. So that's why I went ahead and got the heat press. I mean, you definitely could just use an iron, but my iron is old and I don't know the temperatures on it. So we put that skewer on the back, and here we're trying to line up the spine. You really want to try and get it like perfect. And it was, again, the iron was being a bitch because the edges were like hot enough, but the middle wasn't hot enough. Some of the letters kept trying to pull up. And also the heat transfer vinyl is different. The black, it says to remove when it's warm, and the silver wants to remove when it's cool. So a little bit of a challenge there. Here we glue the spine together, and then you cover the end pages in glue, lay them down, press out the extra glue, and then I press it overnight, and it is complete after this. And that is it all. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, see you later.